Acmlm, Glan, and dude52089 in. Pretty good spread here. Question for you, Fant. Who do you have out of these four to be a favorite?
You know, ACM is just so darn good that I gotta pick him. But, you know, being Keysanity and being Rando, you know, a couple wrong decisions or a couple trolley locations can, you know, turn everybody around. Starting off quick with a Turtle Rock small key.
Looks like we've got a small route diversions here. Glan is actually going to be opting to do the Houlihan room at first. And our other runners, we've got Dude's going to be taking the route into Uncle, and then xelnas and ACM are actually going to take the southern route into Kakariko.
Yeah, no, I like all of these plays. You know, getting the bomb drops, the small chance going into Kakariko from the south, so you don't have to worry about it. You know what I think was the map to Thieves Town from Uncle there. And I also love, you know, the Houlihan room early, because rupees can be such a pain early on. You never know if you're gonna have to go to Zor early. So, you know, just assuming you're gonna have to farm money eventually, getting that those rupees out of the way. You can buy bombs, go to the bottle vendor, all sorts of stuff.
Absolutely. We're getting a library check at ACM and xelnas here. Looks like just a big 20 up on the library shelf. Going to continue their route in. Meanwhile, Dude picking up his big 20 out of the sanctuary chest. Like you said, rupees can play a very big factor into Keysanity, because like you said, you may need to do that early Zor check. So doing a Houlihan room out of Glan, that could pay big dividends later.
Small keys to Mire in the back of the tavern. You know, Mire's one of the few dungeons where you don't need any small keys at all to actually clear it, but it does make routing later on a little bit more convenient.
Absolutely.
ACM, you know, choosing to, oh, we get another, I think that was a small key to Turtle Rock and the Chicken Hut, but you know, I like this play from ACM here. You know, you're low on bombs at the beginning, so you bomb the hut here and you can get some guaranteed drops in there.
Well, and not only that, you know, if you buy them from the vendor, those are 50 rupees a pop to get 10 bombs, so very nice, like you said, to get some free bombs here. Meanwhile, it looks like Dude made a check into Lumberjack Cave. Now, what did we see over there?
I completely missed it. Early on, it's so hard to keep track of everything, but you know, here we go. Small key in the maze game as xelnas gets our first look inside the thief set. That's a pod small key.
And the big key for Dark Palace, xelnas finding that in the bottom of Blind's house.
Yeah, but look at this. xelnas did not have any bombs, and you know, ACM doing that farming, he's going to be able to check all this stuff the first time.
That's very unfortunate not having bombs for that, because it will take 2 passes to get everything.
No, it's always a gamble coming in, hoping that you find bombs. Oh, we get the cane from Acmlm. That's really unfortunate, because xelnas doesn't have any bombs. He's going to miss out on the cane until he comes back to check it.
ACM finding the bow in the bottom of the well also, so we don't have a sword yet, but we are getting some very nice weapons to choose from.
Always nice getting that bow early. I'm so used to it showing up like somewhere deep into Turtle Rock. You know, there's always the rule, if you get the bow early, silvers are super troll. If you get the silvers early, you're never going to find the bow until like the end.
And you've got to figure too, but look, blue mail out of ACM, so finding some very good survivability. You definitely like finding a mail upgrade this early, just because, you know, 4 hearts suddenly turns into 8.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate for xelnas. You know, missing 2, well, 1 the cane, which is probably going to be required, and then also missing the blue mail, which is, oh no, he got the blue mail. My mistake. He did have a bomb in there.
Now, something we had missed, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe we also have the Moon Pearl at the bottom of Blind's house. So if that's the case, we're actually putting together our Dark World survival kit pretty early on. Just need some gloves and a hammer, and we're good to go.
So where are those going to be? There's still a ton of places to check in Sphere Zero here in the Light World. Sphere Zero, of course, being the amount of locations that are instantly available from the minute you start the game with no prior item requirements.
Well, and with finding that bow early, now we haven't seen a map check yet, but correct me if I'm wrong, Eastern Palace, you could actually full clear that if you're comfortable with dark rooms, am I right?
Well, I don't think we've seen the Eastern Palace Big Key yet, so you do need that to proceed towards the back half.
Oh, that's true.
I think now we've seen all our runners pick up the flips, pick up the pearl, pick up the big key to pod. xelnas going in, getting his bombs. We'll see if he chooses to go up. Actually, no, he's already... Has he already gone and picked up the cane? I thought he missed it.
Looks like he... Oh, you're showing he has the cane. I don't believe he... I don't believe he's checked the bottom of Blind's house yet. So
yeah, so he's going to pick up his blue mail here.
Meanwhile, ACM going back to check Uncle. Also, now with having a reliable weapon, do you think he will make a play on the front half of Escape?
Well, with bow, I definitely would. You're already up here. Like, having that, it makes it super easy to go through. You know, 9 arrows, I think, is what he has, is more than enough.
Don't forget, he also has the cane, and that does make a pretty good weapon in a pinch.
Okay, now xelnas dropping back into well, so he is going to get his Cane of Samaria. Thankfully, he chose to come back here and check it, because also the cane, I find, is a pretty nice weapon early on, because you can reuse those blocks. Pick them up, throw them at people, throw them at enemies. Like especially in Mini Moldorm Cave, you can just pick up a block and run it into the little Mini Moldorms. Yeah, look at that, ACM. Doing exactly like what you said, headed straight into Escape. He's got the bow, he's got the cane, probably do this super easy.
Well, and still being part of your Sphere 0 that you can check, yes, I definitely like this play here. You got the 3 chests in the front half. If he is comfortable with doing the dark rooms, he, in theory, could full clear this, providing that he runs into a key in the first 4 chests. But now, also, remember, it's a castle small key. Now, with everything being randomized, that key does not necessarily have to be in Escape, does it?
It could be pretty much anywhere, yeah. But you don't need... Were those silvers?
I think those were silvers.
Oh, man. Well, there goes my theory that, once you find the bow, you find the silvers way late.
I have to double check on our restream just to make sure, but yeah, I'm pretty sure those were silvers.
That's what I saw. So although not required for anything, silvers, yeah, you did get the silvers, are super, super nice. Look at that one-shotting the guy guarding the big key here. It's great. Oh, and the big key to Skull Woods.
So the front half of Escape paying very big dividends to ACM. It's something that our runners are definitely going to want to pick up at some point.
Yeah, so we'll have to see if any of that was actually required. So the big key to Skull Woods is not actually needed to finish the dungeon. It's only for opening up the big chest. But that will be, peace of mind knowing he's not going to have to go back in there.
The big find's going to be the silver arrows, because that's such a good quality of life weapon.
Oh, big
and
key.
Hey! Cannon's Tower big key in Mini Moldorm. Well, definitely going to be glad we found that.
Glan heading down, going to be picking up the big key to Skull Woods as well. Yeah, so both Glan and ACM with the early silvers. Gonna make their lives a lot easier.
Dude running out of magic, resorting to bombs to take care of the Mini Moldorms. Bombs are an effective weapon, but it is a little bit of practice in learning how to lead the Mini Moldorms with the timing of those bomb explosions. Also finding a lot of rupees for his trouble.
Yeah, still not quite enough money to go check Zor, but they're getting pretty close. And our first look at the Ice Rod Cave from xelnas.
What did our seed leave in the fridge for us tonight? Let's see here. We have the Book of the Door.
Oh, wow. So that unlocks the desert ledge item as well as only one location in desert because they don't have the boots, don't have the small key, don't have the big key, so they can't check anything else. That does put it on the table.
Now, having the book at this point, do you feel it's worthwhile to go ahead and route in a check to Agena Cave and to check that desert ledge item? Or do you want to try to do a few other things in your Sphere Zero search before you cross that quadrant off?
Oh, it's a tough call. I think, you're not going to have a bad time going over there and checking that, getting that out of the way. Personally, I like the Eastern Palace play. Going, checking in, see what Sastrala has. And hang on, another small key to Turtle Rock and a small key to GT hiding in the Well of Wishes, Wishing Well, Wishing Fountain, whatever it is. I always forget the official name of what that is.
I think we just call it Waterfall Cave nowadays.
Yeah.
But still, with having the flippers, that is part of the logic, since remember we found the flippers at the bottom of Blind's Hut. Ace, it looks like we found a heart on the hobo, and ACM going to go back and make his Zora check. He has the rupees to do it. And it looks like Dude's going to be making the Sahasrara play.
That's right, both high-value locations early on, especially with that early flippers, being able to check the two items, the ledge item and Zora himself. Just a piece of heart, coughing up a little piece that fell off inside. Kind of disgusting when you think about it. Where did he get that heart? Is like as part of his heart? Is it something he ate? I don't know. I don't want to think about it.
Me either. I just ate. I'll pass. We're getting a little bit of intel from Sahasrara. Ice Palace is actually going to be a green pendant. And looks like Zora had just a little piece of love, so not much return on 500 rupees, unfortunately.
Yeah, so I think that's 3 Turtle Rock small keys that have been found. Which means that's enough to finish that dungeon, provided they skip the big key chest in the center. That's a really popular chest to skip when the time comes.
Well, and depending on what medallion is needed to access it, we have the Canis Samaria. It is possible we'll see a relatively early TR play. I say relatively because, we're still quite a few items away from being able to check that side of Death Mountain.
Right. Now, I missed the Sahasrara item, so we'll get a check here on ACM screen. Nothing of value, just a full heart container, which is nice. Still early on. Like to see those early heart containers.
Seems like most runners are like to do about 10 hearts or so before hearts start to lose value. Although bear in mind, having the blue mail, you can fudge on those factors a little bit. Looks like Dude picked up just a big 20 in the first chest in Eastern Palace, so a little bit of money for his trouble, but not particularly helpful. Now we'll get a check to see what the rest of these are.
And xelnas has the hammer, but right now that currently doesn't unlock anything at all. But that's one step closer to Dark World access.
Well, and remember, our players have not found a sword yet. That hammer is an excellent weapon, especially early on, because it does tempered sword damage. Now, the hitbox is a little funny on it, but
it's
still
the
a
worst.
very good weapon to have. In swordless mode, you get very acquainted with your hammer very early.
Yeah, nobody choosing to follow that book lead. At least not yet. The Eastern Palace and Sahasrara not really paying off yet.
Not as of yet, but if you're familiar with dark rooms, you can check a fair chunk of EP to start with.
No, for sure.
So now, where did we find that hammer? I missed that big cut.
The hammer was located on the ledge in Zora.
Oh, very good to have it there then.
Yeah, so Glan is going to be picking that up shortly. Where xelnas and ACM had already made their trip up there.
Now, xelnas having a good weapon in hand, he is now going to make his play on escape, and he's going to be very happy finding those silver arrows.
Definitely. But we're still looking for the next bit of progression. And so far, a lot of really, really nice items. I'm thinking we've got to be seeing the Power Glove soon, given that Dark World access.
I'm almost betting it's going to have to be somewhere on the desert side of things. We've checked just about everything else in Sphere Zero, unless I'm leaving something out.
Agnes Cave is always open, as much of a pain as it is. And dude did pick up a couple maps in Eastern Palace. So we get, I think that was Crystal 6 at Eastern Palace. So double dip is going to happen for him. Then we'll have to wait for the Dark World trip for the rest of the info on those maps he found.
Looks like Glan actually has the gloves. Now, where did he find those?
I don't recall him picking up the glove. Nope, he did. He's got it. I don't know how I missed it. Did he head over to Agna while we weren't looking?
Very well might have.
Small key to Desert Palace. That puts that at least near the top of my list. Because now that's 3 items over there, 4 items over there, plus Agna makes it 5, and they could check what is on the torch. But, you know, maybe just go straight to Hype Cave. You unlocked your Dark World access.
Oh, and you got 5 chests in there within very easy reach, so I definitely think Hype Cave is a strong play to make.
I'm not sure how I missed that Power Glove pickup. So maybe we'll get an update soon on where that was hiding from us. You see him finally going to the race game. I'm going to pick up the small key to, I think, Pod? Yeah, Pod small key.
Glan, meanwhile, stopping in to farm a little bit of money off of the Thief's Cave here. It's a pretty easy spot to farm rupees, especially if you're not necessarily comfortable doing the Hulahan room. You do get 50 rupees every time you go in that cave.
Hey, getting our first Agna check from Glan here. And ACM, you know, maybe forgetting exactly what he had checked in Kakariko on the way in. Oh, there it is. The bottle vendor was the holder of the Power Glove. Very, very high value item there. Only 100 rupees to get you that. Big key to Tower of Hera is in Agna's Cave.
Definitely going to be glad we had that.
You know, dude has finally made it over to Zora, picking up his hammer. So that's almost Dark World access for him. Just needs to head over to Sasha, grab that Power Glove.
Glan going to go ahead and looks like he's going to make a play on Desert Palace. Now, he does have a Desert Palace small key, so he has access to quite a few things here in the early part.
Yeah, and he's going to get quite a bit of knowledge, too. So, question for what was in Zora? So, Zora himself had a piece of heart, and the ledge item was the hammer. So, crucial to make your way up there eventually. Looks like all 4 of our featured runners have. The map of Desert Palace, first item in Skullwoods.
Looks like Glan's going to be checking the torch chest room, see what we've got here, and then going to take that small key he found earlier, check the right side. Finding a heart container for his troubles, that puts him up to 8.
And dude is heading into the escape sequence. Going to pick up his silvers and big key. But I do like this play from ACM here, going straight into Skullwoods, because he picked up the Skullwoods big key. So that's another location here to check. Maybe it leads to something, but ooh, gotta be careful there, down to 1 heart. Picks up a bottle.
That should unlock Sick Kid for him, and then, of course, he'll have a safety if he wants to bottle potions or take anything with him. Or if he finds the bug net, then suddenly he can get waifu in a bottle and won't have to worry about that. We'll have to worry about trying to death warp with a fairy, though. We've had a few people find out that doesn't exactly work.
Needs to refill his health so we can go and do the bomb jump here. Just a little bit of trouble here.
Glan picking up the fire rod, it looks like. A very good find. I believe he found it on the right side.
Oh,
of the
and was that the ice rod that we saw in the big chest? In Skull Woods.
Oh, looks like we probably know where both of the rods are.
And so this will be good for Glan since he has the silvers. He did go to escape. Got that Skullwoods big key, so that's going to be a really early set of rods for him. And only a map of Hera in the second half.
Now, bear in mind, dude does not have 100 rupees. I don't believe he has made the check on the bottle vendor yet, so he's not going to be able to get to the Dark World and check Hype Cave yet. He is going to make his way over to Agna Cave and probably do desert while he's on this side of the mountain, so he should be picking up his fire rod before much longer.
So Glan skipped that chest there. He did not forget it. He knows about the default small key that always shows up in the room here. So he's going to avoid making all the pits in this room, make it a little bit easier to get back. Picks up his map. The one key that is always going to be in the exact same spot every time. There we go. Dude also gets Tower of Hera big key. That's quite a bit of big keys we've already found. Now I have a question for you, Jaxus. Are we going to see a default swamp small key in this seed? It's happened, I think, a couple dailies already.
Ooh, boy, that would be... I always tell people the trolliest item position you can ever have in Rando is its vanilla spawn. So I hope for our runner's sake we don't find it there, but for the viewer's sake, I hope we do.
Dude opting to go into Desert Palace as well. But this is pretty interesting. We're going to get our first check, likely.
ACM finding vanilla Titan's mitts, almost vanilla Titan's mitts. Those are going to be Thieves Town first chest. He also picked up Ether from the Sea House.
And I hope we get to see Glan proceed to the second half of Skull Woods, because he's the first one coming over here with the fire rod in hand. So, I mean, if he wants to, he can go kill Mothula right now.
Looks like he will be electing to take his magic safety as well. Remember, you get a full decanter when you go into this little off-room.
Yep, although they don't have a sword, fire rod will make things a little bit easier. I hope we get to see the hammer strats on Mothula here.
ACM, unfortunately, taking a death here. Not sure if that was intentional or
It's
just...
probably a death warp, is my guess. He picked up the 4 chests. Doesn't have mirror, so to get out, just kill yourself. Get right back to the entrance.
Glan going ahead and making the play on the back half of Skullwoods. Probably going to take on Mothula while he's back here. Will be kind of dicey with only 8 hearts. He does have blue mail, which will help. Although remember, traps will always do 1 heart of damage no matter what armor you're wearing.
Another useless small key to Meyer. Almost as worthless as the compass.
And it looks like Glan's going to go ahead and take the Death Warp here, which I can't blame him. This will get you back to the entrance with nearly full hearts. Also, probably faster than walking the long way around.
Oh, opting not to proceed to Mothula to find out what that is.
Interesting.
Yeah, so technically right now, Mothula isn't in the logic. The game expects you to find the 2 other randomize small keys before coming in here. So maybe not too comfortable doing it with just the hammer and this low health. You know, nothing wrong with that. You see, I'm finding a small key to Swamp Palace. There it is, in the Peg Caves.
Well.
Oh yeah, no, I just remembered. Mothula is not there because you don't have a sword. There's no sword, God, so they can't get through the vines at the end. I always forget about that.
I do too. ACM gonna check out the digging game here. How many digs is it gonna take? I'm gonna say 24.
I'll go 23. Undercut you by 1 there. Whoever's closer wins. I'm closer. Ha, got it.
Alright, well, chat, what did he win?
Looked like a rupee to me. Oh, the question was what I won. Okay.
A lifetime supply of love and happiness, courtesy of Twitch chat. Kappa.
Yeah, that's pretty good for me. So ACM, lacking the mirror, chooses to grab the frog, go on the South Dark World Tour. Interesting to see how far he goes with this. With the hammer, he can go all the way to Hype Cave. I think that was Red Mail. Nice find there. Where is the first sword?
That is a very good question. Let's see here. Where have we not checked? I don't think anybody's checked Hype Cave yet, so it could very well be in Hype Cave.
We're heading there.
Let's go see if Santa has any goodies for us.
I'm feeling a pretty hype Cave here. I think we're not going to find 1, but 2 swords hiding inside here. Come on.
You are adventurous tonight, aren't you?
Oh, yeah. A bottle. We haven't seen what the bottle kid has yet, at least I don't think. Small key to Thieves Town. Well, no swords. No swords at all. Maybe the pyramid. We'll see how far ACM chooses to take this. He can go... I think he could take him all the way up to the catfish.
Indeed, you are right. Meanwhile, Dude still checking out Skull Woods, and we have xelnas heading up top here. He's probably going to make his check of Skull Woods while he's here.
And Link is so nice, or ACM is so nice to the blacksmith here. It's like, you know, you've been pent up over there behind those rocks this whole time. I want to take you back, but before we do, there's some really neat stuff over here I want you to see. Come join me.
ACM actually opting out of the full heart container. Of course, bear in mind, he has red mail, so 7 hearts is pretty good. He's probably feeling like his survivability's all right, and he's just going to leave that be for now.
Yeah, and ACM is really good. So for red mail and 7 hearts, I have full confidence that he's not going to have an issue with it. So this Thieves Town small key is pretty nice because once they get the big key, they'll be able to full clear it whenever they, or if they choose to go back.
Meanwhile, Glan gonna head down to the digging game and find his $20. Hopefully he remembers to check Stump Kid so he can go ahead and get his second mail upgrade as well.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Glan take the same route that ACM is doing right now. Ooh, look at this, a big key to Ice Palace. Green Pendant Ice Palace, big key. So big key really only required if you know how to do the bomb jump for the big chest. But still, that's a little bit more comforting. You know, being able to go into any dungeon, especially a pendant dungeon, and knowing you're not going to have to double dip it. Hey, with flippers, with Titan's Mitt, and once ACM gets the Fire Rod, there's nothing stopping him from going into Ice Palace.
Absolutely not. Ice Palace definitely on the table.
And yeah, as expected, Glan also taking the blacksmith along for the ride. Hopefully he doesn't chicken out and decide to save and quit before heading up to Catfish. Because who knows, that Ice Palace Big Key could come in handy later.
Well, it is rando. You never know what you're going to find there. Could be something very shiny. I'll be interested to see what our blacksmith friends have.
I'm also interested if ACM's gonna eventually go through and do this same exact thing with the purple chest, or just leave it behind, wait till he gets mirror. Just a bomb upgrade from the Bottle Kid.
Don't knock it, though. Being able to carry 10 extra bombs, no sword yet, a little more value than what you would think.
I don't know, man. I'm never happy to see a bomb upgrade.
I think it all depends on your playstyle, too. Dude finding his Titan mitts, so that puts us up to 3 runners that have level 2 gloves. And a big key from the Smiths. What'd they make? Swamp Palace big key. Now, no mirror yet, so we can't go into Swamp Palace, but as soon as we find that mirror, we'll have everything we need, minus the hook shot. But can still check quite a bit of Swamp Palace with just hammer and small key.
Yeah, no, I'm waiting to see who is going to have the guts to go into Ice Palace first before they find a sword. Especially with the knowledge that it's the green pendant. Yeah, but Glan, following step for step what ACM has done. The big difference being, Glan has already found that really important fire rod, so has another weapon available to him.
Looks like ACM might actually be making the pod play. But, he has the bow, so I like this play.
Yeah, the bow and either 1 or 2 pod keys. I think he's sitting at 1 pod key. But being able to skip the first door with hammer and bow, which I imagine we'll see him do, allows you a couple more chests.
Well, and if he knows how to hammer yump, and he finds another key in here, then he might be able to get further than he thinks he will.
I think for sure by taking the right route, first you'll get that easy chest, but then head over to the right side, jump down, spend a key to get to the back, and then that unlocks the 2 chests in like the rupee room, plus the 1 in the turtle room, and yeah, a hammer jump gets you 2 more. Yeah, 1 small key for ACM.
Just an Eastern Palace compass.
Yeah, so I highly doubt he's going to burden a key, the 1 key he has, going through the middle. I guess he does have the option if he wants to. He could just go kill Helmasaur right now, because you only need the 1 small key.
You make a very valid point. He could just go down and kill Helmasaur. He has the tools. Although, for the return on his investment, probably not the smart move statistically speaking, but definitely an open possibility.
Yeah, that is a big sequence break going straight to the boss, because with only 1 small key, who knows how late in the logic that Helmasaur kill could be expected.
Looks like Glan's going to drop off Gary's lunchbox, too. Let's see what Gary's wife packed him today.
Oh, if that has the mirror, that'd be horrible. It's like it's just an arrow upgrade.
Dear Gary, Here's some more arrows so you can go kill your own damn lunch. Love, Mrs. Gary.
And there's the mirror on the right side. So that is really big for ACM. That unlocks Swamp Palace, that unlocks all the mirror spots throughout. You can go up to Death Mountain if he wishes. Of course, that'd be a sequence break without the lamp. But still, you know, this could lead him further away from the fire rod.
There's our shovel, so now dig spot is open. I'm gonna be. It looks like he is gonna go back. He's probably gonna elect to do the hammer yump, and then he'll actually have access to 4 chests back here.
No, actually, he's gonna have 6 chests because you don't need a key to go to the right side here. So that's 2 in the basement, plus this turtle room here. And it's a sword. The first sword, 35 minutes in, deep into pod. And that's actually a sequence break, because you need 3 keys in order to go over there.
Hats off to ACM. I could not do this.
So nothing in the basement. Thankfully, there are items that showed up on the screen. That guessing game is always fun. Which item did they get in the dark? We need to wait for them to pause and try and find out.
And we are going to see the hammer yump out of ACM. I always love seeing this trick.
Yeah, really good call from ACM here. You can get all these 3 chests. We'll be able to go pretty much straight to the boss or the front half when he returns here later on. If pod is a required dungeon, which we don't know yet.
Oh, with the music being randomized too, we really just won't know.
You know, it always gets me when I enter GT and I don't know if it's a crystal or a pendant, because, you know, the pendant music is playing.
And a mystery item from ACM in that last chest.
I didn't catch it on that quick menu, what it was.
I didn't catch it on that quick menu either.
So maybe nothing. Didn't notice anything different.
No, I know exactly what it was.
And what was it?
Just watch ACM here. Watch when he slashes his sword.
It was the Master Sword! Oh, man.
Master Sword!
2 sword upgrades, sequence broken in pod. That's pretty incredible.
Interesting point, too. It also unlocks, you can actually do Agatower at this point, can't you? Can you still get to the first chest, or is that key locked?
So the first chest in Agatower is indeed open. But without 2 small keys, they won't be able to finish Aga. And of course, the dark rooms to actually go through to Aga are insanely difficult. Probably among the most difficult dark rooms in the game.
I absolutely have to agree with you on that. Now, I didn't catch what was on Lumberjack Cave. Did you happen to catch that at all?
No, I completely missed that early on. There we go. The first Death Mountain trek. Okay, I'll go with trek there. That sounds good. For ACM, without lamp, everything up here is a sequence break, unless the flute is found somewhere that's currently open. But this is still a good play. There's so many locations up here. They got the mirror, they got the Tower of Hera big key, I believe. I think ACM picked up the big key.
Interesting, though, ACM did not go to Ice Cave and pick up the book. So he will not be able to check tablet while he's up here.
Yeah, the only person with the Master Sword able to actually check these things and get the item is the one who doesn't have the book. That would be unfortunate if the tablet ends up being something important. And there's the lamp. What do you know? So
Well, I
that
guess
means,
the flute.
yeah, the flute is not going to be found up here. Maybe Flute's hiding out in Ice Palace. That'd be pretty awful.
Awful, but funny at the same time. Awful funny.
Yeah, so Dude making the pod play as well. Glan not too far behind. So this will be interesting to see if both of them also go for the hammer jump there and pick up the Master Sword. Gotta be careful not to burn a key. Where they don't want to.
Very careful.
Yeah, the mirror is expected at this point because no keys are required to get to that location inside a pod.
Chad asking where the fire rod was. The fire rod was actually in Desert Palace, as I recall.
I think it was the right side with the small key, right?
Yes, that's correct. ACM going to give us a peek into Tower of Hera. He has the big key for the tower, so he can clear pretty much all this. Ooh, look at that hook shot.
Wow. Swamp Palace is now fully completable.
Not only that, with him having mitts, he can actually check pretty much all of Death Mountain, both light and dark.
And potentially head into T-Rock, depending on what the medallion is.
Now, he doesn't have the fire rod yet, so I don't know if he'll necessarily go in yet or not, because I don't think he's been to Desert yet.
No, ACM has not been to Desert and does not have the fire rod. But you can still go quite a ways into Turtle Rock, since they have quite a few small keys already. So I think no doubt we're going to get a check at least, see what medallion it is. That would be pretty unfortunate for ACM if inside T-Rock they find the big key to T-Rock. He won't be able to complete it because he never went to Desert to get the fire rod. Hey, look at that. Small key to pod.
Not
only the second one.
Required. Well, except to go down to Helmsar King, because I believe ACM has checked every chest otherwise, except for maybe the vanilla big key chest.
Yeah, he hasn't been there. I'm not sure if he's done the drop down. I couldn't catch if he went through and did that or not. But if he returns to pod and go mode, he doesn't need any more keys. The one small key he has is enough to finish the dungeon now. As long as he doesn't need to check anything else.
Oh no, Dude's gonna be checking vanilla big key spawn.
Oh no.
oh, I hope for his sake there's another pod small key up here.
It's just a map.
Just a burrito.
So unfortunately, Dude is going to be missing out on the swords.
That is a shame.
There's a lot of pod small keys here on Death Mountain. So now ACM's up to 3 total. So I gotta be thinking that the flute has to be like in Swamp or Ice Palace at this point.
Now, it could not be in the back half of Swamp Palace because the hook shot was on Tower of Hera, but you're absolutely right, on the front half, it most certainly could be there.
Oh, big key to Meyer. Found inside Paradox Cave. I'm hoping we get a map check that I can actually have open long enough to see what crystals we have. I think we have most of the maps now across the 4 racers.
Start back-plugging some of that information in. ACM gonna check probably Hookshot Cave and Super Bunny Cave while he's here. Floating Island only had rupees on it, so not of extreme interest.
Compass to Hera, and an arrow upgrade. So what room is Dude in right now?
A dark room.
I thought he burned his last small key and couldn't get over here.
And to answer a question in chat for Emporio, it's called Paradox Cave because you enter from a perspective where it looks like you're going to be entering on the bottom floor. You drop down a pit, and you come out a cave that's actually higher up on the mountain. So it's like you're falling upwards, which makes absolutely no sense. And
Yeah,
there's a fourth Dark Palace
another odd key. Yeah, so Glan must have found another small key somewhere. Because he just burned a second one to get to the back half here.
I'm going to guess that Turtle Rock was Ether Medallion to get into.
Please be Ether.
Yep, it was Ether.
It is indeed Ether, yes. Gonna open that up right away.
Now, depending on his small key amount, he might actually be able to forego the torch room in Turtle Rock.
Yeah, I want to say he's got 2 or 3. We'll get a quick check as soon as he enters, which he's definitely going to. That is 3 small keys. So he can collect almost everything up to the big key chest. Even get over to, what is it? Mimic Cave.
You're absolutely right. He can check Mimic Cave as well. Small key for Ganon's Tower. Not a super useful find from what I understand in Keysanity. You definitely want
most
a few
of the time,
them, but
no.
They peter out after a while.
Of course, it's nice having 2 GT small keys upon entering. The only way like GT small keys are required is if you have to go deep within the basement to try and find your items. And at most, 3 small keys, unless you burn one, trying to open the door between left and right side, which we don't really see too often. Man, kind of a little bit of a trolley place for lamp. You know, dude just had a hell of a time going through the dark rooms, and then he's gonna be greeted with the lamp in the next spot he goes.
Talk about, I wish I had this 20 seconds ago.
But hey, if you had to go into Pendant Ice Palace to get the flute, it's got to be in there, right? There or Swamp. I don't think anything else has been left on the table as far as stuff they had access to prior to Pod. And the treasure trove of items on Death Mountain here. But I hope we see Glan head into Turtle Rock as well. Because so far, you know, the Fire Rod has been nice to have, but it hasn't led to like anything of importance for Glan here. That could change with the 2 locations on the right side of Turtle Rock.
Could very well change, especially if you know, sword upgrade or I mean, God, let's think. What else could be of value hiding on that right-hand side?
It could be medallions, it could be boots, it could be powder, or any number of keys. I think we still need the Thieves Town big key. We need the Turtle Rock big key. And the Eastern Palace big key. I think those are the remaining big keys to be found. No, Thieves Town is a crystal, so that one's definitely required. Turtle Rock. Actually, no, yeah. All 3 remaining big keys are required because they are crystals.
Wait a minute. Did Glan go inside Spectacle Rock?
Oh no, I didn't see.
Oh God, I don't know if he did or not. I hope he doesn't forget to check, because he'll probably be glad he found that.
Hook shot for Glan. Yeah, Glan doesn't have the lamp, but he doesn't really need it up here, so that could be something he picks up on his way out.
Well, and again, I'm sure most of these runners are quite comfortable with dark rooms. I know, personally speaking, dark rooms scare the you-know-what out of me.
Yeah. Unless something is hiding inside the Acmlm Tower second chest, which we do have a small key for now and can access, I think Glan will probably be fine doing all the other dark rooms.
ACM taking a dive into Swamp Palace. We're going to see what's down here. Now, with him having the hook shot, he can clear everything in this place.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure we're going to see a full clear here. No reason not to at this point, especially with the number of items remaining to go mode.
Oh, and just the sheer item density. I mean, from a vanilla perspective, Swamp Palace has the highest item density. Now, there are 7 chests normally in here that you can do in a normal rando. Don't forget with Keysanity, though, and this is something that I've been reminded a few times, you have to count the big key chest, the compass, and the map chest as well. So a total of 10 things to look at inside Swamp Palace. So definitely want to do a full clear of this place. Oh, dude taking a fall to Moldorm. Troll Dorm, ladies and gentlemen. That's why they call him that. Only upshot was at least he didn't get knocked down the center hole. In before commentators first.
Yeah, so the question in chat, can Flute be in Swamp? So it can't be in the back half because Hookshot was found on Death Mountain, but they had full access to the front half of Swamp Palace before heading up to Death Mountain, so it could definitely be back here. And dude having a little bit of trouble on Troll Dorm here, living up to his name. There's the big key to Turtle Rock. 2 more to go.
Dude finally showing Troll Dorm who's boss. Getting a small key to Ganon's tower for his trouble, and a red pendant. Now, we don't normally calculate pedestal hype index, but I have to ask, what could, if this was going to be a pedestal required seed, what would we be finding there?
Let's think about it for a little bit. So our pendants are Ice Palace, Misery Mire, and Tower of Hair, all of which can be cleared right now. So any other item they're looking for can be on pedestals. That's the Eastern Palace Big Key can be there. The Thieves Town Big Key can be there. And let's see, boots, I believe, are no longer required at this point, with Hookshot allowing them entrance into Mire. So I think it's going to be one of those two as our only options, Eastern Palace and Thieves Town Big Key. And there's the powder. In the chest in the water room, right before the final boss. Final boss of Swamp Palace, the only boss of Swamp Palace. No, it's been a long day, Jaxus. Tripping over words can happen.
At least you didn't have to work a 12-hour shift and then commentate.
Hoo-hoo, man.
But I know what you mean. But yeah, just going back to taking stock, yeah, it's either going to be Desert Palace Big, well, no, it'd be Eastern Palace Big Key or Thieves Town Big Key. Unless, have one of our runners found the Desert Palace Big Key?
Oh, I don't believe the Desert Palace Big Key has been found. Or no. Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I want to say no. No Desert Palace Big Key.
Oh yeah, if there's a big key on pedestal, we could still have a ped seed, ladies and gentlemen. Meanwhile, xelnas grabbing his hook shot, and he's going to be making further explorations of the tower.
And Glan about to open up T-Rock. Glan will be able to check the right side first 2 chests. Though it is unfortunate now knowing where the big key to T-Rock is, because that big key could have been achieved or found before heading up to Death Mountain, and that would have allowed an almost full clear of T-Rock, including Trinex.
Yeah, but that's randomizer for you.
Yep. If only we had the knowledge that we do when commentating for when we're actually racing one of these. I know everything. Can have the best route and still probably lose to Acmlm.
I think the model for randomizer should be, man, I wish I had this 20 seconds ago.
Exactly. Yeah, so Glan probably hoping to find the T-Rock big key up here before heading in.
xelnas going to be going up here, saying hi to Trolldorm.
Yeah, hopefully xelnas has a better time than what Dude had to endure up here. Trolldorm can be pretty annoying. And, oh no, fall number 1.
ACM going to give us a peek at the left-hand side of Swamp Palace.
Yeah, ACM knows how few items he needs to be able to enter go mode. Probably hoping they were all in the easy-to-access spots of Swamp before coming in here. Just a piece of heart. We'll shortly see what the last item here is. Getting the mirror out. It's a small key to Skullwoods. Completely useless.
xelnas coming up to say hi yet again. Round 3 for Trolldorm. Oh, be careful that hole. Whew. Oh, he makes good work of him. I thought Trolldorm was about to slam dunk him there for a minute.
So it looks like ACM is heading up to the dig spots. I've had that shovel since pod, but it's so far out of the way to get up here.
Hey, look at that! Glan finding a level 3 sword in the dark room in Escape. The ketchup claymore has arrived, ladies and gentlemen. Cinnamon cutlass.
And so I'm thinking of all the crazy stuff the logic expects you to do to get your first sword. Because you know, all the pod keys were up on Death Mountain. Flute has been yet to be found. It's not in Swamp Palace. So possibly in Ice Palace. I think that's one of the few places left. Then take that, go all the way up to Deathbound, get your lamp, come all the way down. Go into Escape for that one chest. Awful.
Randomizer can be such a cruel mistress.
And Glan doing the dark room of Aga Tower to get that last item in here. This is a maze kind of similar to the one in Pod, but with the fire rod you can light the torches, making things significantly easier.
That also tells me that he did not go inside Spectacle Rock when he was on Death Mountain earlier.
Right. Opting, hey, I don't need the lamp. I thought he went in there and just decided not to jump down and grab it.
If so, he's a braver man than I am.
Magic bat containing only bombs.
xelnas almost making the play over to the fire rod room in Turtle Rock, only to find out he does not have the fire rod.
Yeah, so we're gonna see another double dip for xelnas. Now Glan, I don't think ventured into T-Rock at all. So at this point, Glan's probably gonna head up there very late. And likely with the big key, because Swamp is required.
chat informing me, and maybe I missed it here on commentary, but the first chest in Agate Tower was indeed the Bombos medallion.
That is correct. Bombos was hiding out there. Now, I'm pretty amazed nobody else has gone to desert yet. Check that right side with the small key. Now, Glan got the fire rod really early, and nobody else has even gone remotely into that direction.
That is rather unfortunate because Glan is probably the best equipped of our runners as of right now to deal with Turtle Rock.
And I want to know what's on the right side. Dude doing the same thing, opting not to go left side in the swamp. Yeah, Glan heading into swamp as well, so we'll likely not have to do the Turtle Rock double dip.
Looks like
Still...
ACM. Oh, go right ahead.
No, you continue.
I'm just saying, ACM looks like he's going to be making the trip back over to Pod. Some unfinished business with Helmasaur.
Yeah, with all the small keys ACM has, all the remaining chests and Helmasaur can be gotten. Still looking for that EP big key and the Thieves Town big key.
Dude finding his powder just before getting to Argus. Now, nobody's gone into Ice Palace yet. Have to wonder, with the exception of ACM, who doesn't have an offensive capability, you have to wonder why everybody else is putting off Ice Palace.
Well, currently the only person who has access to Ice Palace is Glan, holding on to both Bombos and Fire Rod.
Oh, yes, you're absolutely
One or the
right.
other is needed to make it past the first room. You know, and both those fire sources being in kind of annoying locations. And xelnas almost getting knocked off of the Samaria platform there. That Stalfos at the end always has a habit of doing that to me.
Dude opting for the hashtag hook and hammer strats on Argus. Puts a lot of time up on the menu time for this, but if you can get into a good rhythm, you won't lose a whole lot of time doing this strategy.
So I do wonder ACM's reasoning for using the keys this way. You know, with 3 small keys, I think he could have... Oh no, there's one more chest in the back that he wasn't able to check in Turtle Room. So by skipping that first chest again and going around the long way again, he'll be able to finish the dungeon.
I do believe that is 4 bottles for ACM, unless I'm not counting right.
I think that was bottle number 4. Dude having a little bit of trouble hitting Argus with the silvers, whips out the hammer to finish him off. Remember, Dude never sequence broke to the back of Pod, so it's still lacking a sword.
Well, the trouble with Argus is that hitbox is so irregular. I mean, it's not easy to line up a silver arrow shot to it, and still kind of a pain in the neck to try to use the hammer for it.
Definitely, it just moves around so fast. I mean, it is predictable, but even with that predictability and couple it with the small hitbox of the hammer, it's still not easy. Yeah, the roundabout way you have to go through Pod to avoid burning keys is kind of hilarious. the very first small key door skip, and you have to make like 3 trips up the right side through the Mimic Room.
Well, and if you're going to be picking up a lot of Keysanity, definitely want to invest some time in learning how to hammer yum.
Xelnas forgetting that there is a big key door just past the big key chest.
I believe that was our big key to Eastern Palace, wasn't it? In the Harmless Hellway?
I think you are correct. That is, talk about a convenient location, because now ACM is going to be able to mirror out and instantly go into Eastern Palace.
Well, and for all you kiddos that are hoping for a pedestal-required seed, our options are getting kind of thin right now.
Yep. The only thing remaining is the Thieves' Town Big Key. Provided that the Turtle Rock small key either isn't burned, which Xelnas has burned it, and I think ACM burned it. That would be the worst, actually. Imagine the Turtle Rock small key, the 4th one, which now I believe ACM and Xelnas needs, being located on the pedestal.
It's evil. I like it.
I think we're still sitting at 3 Turtle Rock small keys. Unlikely for that to happen, but that would be incredible. And would probably cement into everybody's mind, never go to the big key chest in Turtle Rock unless you have to. So I'd say that's probably one of the most commonly skipped chests in Keysanity. When you enter Turtle Rock with only 3 small keys.
Oh, yes. ACM gonna say hi to Helmasaur King, find out what he's holding.
Yeah, if it's a Thieves' Town big key, ACM could be in go mode, provided he didn't burn that small key in Turtle Rock, which I'm not sure if he did or not.
That's just a lot of money.
Alright, so another dungeon complete for ACM. Probably head straight into Eastern Palace out of this. Glan finishing off Swamp Palace himself. You know, with that big key to Turtle Rock, it's got to be, you know, pressing on him a little bit. He can go through and get almost everything. We know the big key chest is nothing, so he wouldn't miss anything in there, but it is tough to decide to head all the way up to T-Rock again when you've already cleared everything else.
Well, and you've got to be thinking on some level they want to hold off Turtle Rock as long as possible because you love the fact if that's your last crystal dungeon, it's just a short skip away over to Ganon's Tower.
Big key to Thieves' Town off of Trinex, maybe? Perhaps?
Maybe.
Yeah, so all our other runners currently visiting stuff everybody else has checked. Gonna see some new ground here on ACM's side as he gets the big chest to EP and heads on to Armos Knights.
I'm getting anxious to go to Ice Palace. I don't know about you.
I'm thinking the flute's gotta be in there. We're quickly running out of locations where Thieves' Town can be that is within crystal dungeons, or stuff you would not mind going and clearing. Because I still believe the access to Mire is going to be through Ice Palace.
I would be inclined to agree. Also worth pointing out, we're an hour and 9 minutes in, and Dude has yet to find a sword.
It's got to be rough. But really, For Dude's End, still no sword is in the logic. It's not in the logic for anything right now, actually, because the flute still hasn't been found. That was the key to all the swords. If you didn't sequence break, then you're out of luck.
ACM finding just a Swamp Palace compass on Almost Nights. We know how to get there, so not terribly useful.
Yeah, the only remaining places for ACM is Desert Palace, which I believe he's collected the small key to. Thinking he's got to be heading over there soon. But he still needs to head over to Ice Rod Cave and get his book. I never saw him collect it.
Yeah, he has not gotten his book yet, so Desert is still locked to him, so he's still on the prowl for literacy.
Here we go, xelnas, heading over to Desert Palace. Will he finally step in and be the second runner to get the fire rod?
Meanwhile, over on the Turtle Rock side of things, Glan gonna give us a peek at what's beyond the torch room.
Yeah, Glan with holding the big key to T-Rock as well as 3 small keys. No doubt in my mind, he's going to skip that big key chest in the center and continue on and clear the rest of the dungeon. This could be massive if the Thieves Town big key is in here.
Would absolutely be massive, and I would definitely put Glan with the edge if that's the case.
Full heart container and 20 rupees on the right side. So what we want lies either in the big chest or beyond. And there it is, xelnas, at 1 hour and 11 minutes, picks up the fire rod and his Ice Palace access.
He's going to waste no time saving and quitting out of there.
Yeah, did xelnas get the big key to Desert Palace? I thought we saw it in T-Rock.
Maybe we did. I didn't mark it down on my notes if we did, though.
Alright, ACM finally making the Desert Palace play. ACM does not have the Desert Palace big key.
He's going to be very happy when he gets on the right-hand side and finds that fire rod.
And xelnas are first to head into Ice Palace, wasting no time putting that fire rod to use. And moment of truth on Glan's screen over here. Is he going to steal the small key? He is. Good play, good call from Glan here.
Very good play. xelnas going to be taking out the Compass Room team. And we will find... Is that the bacon coin?
That was the bacon coin, Quake Medallion, inside Ice Palace. So access to Mire is there.
There's our fire rod for ACM. Now he can feel warm on a cold day.
And where in Ice Palace is the flute?
Pretty much got it.
Everything else has been checked, right?
I am inclined to agree, but I'm not sure. And Articus in chat, no, we do not know what's on pedestal yet. If this is going to be pedestal required, we have narrowed it down to it's going to have to be a key of some kind, big or small.
And currently the only remaining keys is the T-Rock small key There's the big key to Hera for ACM. So that's actually good for ACM because that will likely lead him back up to Turtle Rock now with the Fire Rod to check those other things. But I think he burned the small key, so he won't be able to full clear it.
Oh, good lord, xelnas down to half of a heart. He cannot do the Ice Palace bomb jump anymore. He's actually going to have to hold off on that.
Well, they did collect a small key earlier on, at least I think xelnas did. And with the big key and the Cane of Samaria, they can do it the regular way.
And you have to wonder about, in Keysanity, with you wanting to put more value on other chests, you know, how valuable is the Ice Palace bomb jump if you're not yet in go mode? I mean, is that something you really want to do at this point?
With it being a pendant, I don't think it's as valuable. And it's especially since they have all the other tools necessary to reach the boss. If you come in here without the big key, I think it's crucial to do the bomb jump, just so you can go all the way down, take out Cold Stare. Because you wouldn't want to come back and go all the way there. You know, you can do it, get out early if you need to go check the big chest, but unlikely you're going to find something in there.
Glan carefully working his way over on Laser Bridge. He has to be very careful, only down to... now he's down to 0 hearts.
Yeah.
Going to be taking a death, unfortunately.
Yeah, smartly picking up the checkpoint, so not too big of an impact there. Dude,
yes.
Heading back into pod. Yes, dude, thank you. Now has enough keys to reach the back and get a whole bunch of swords.
Feel like Christmas time for him.
Iced tea coming up for xelnas. Is it going to be the flute? It's the flute! There it is! Ice Palace. Of course. So this can either be a blessing or a curse for xelnas, depending on the location of those last big keys. Big key to Desert Palace inside the mirror room, laser bridge, mirror shield room, whatever.
That place.
Yeah, so that was a mistake on our part. Desert Palace big key had not been found.
That still leaves, if we're going to have something pedestal required, Thieves Town big key. That's about it.
Yeah, for Glan, it's going to be the Thieves Town big key. For ACM and xelnas, it will be the T-Rock small key, fourth and final one, or the Thieves Town big key. But this does give Glan access to clear all of the other crystal dungeons.
Glan's going to be giving us a peek at Trinex here just in a little bit.
I missed that key pickup from xelnas there. It was something to Castle Tower. I couldn't see. It looks like, yes, a small key to Castle Tower.
You're absolutely right, checking the restream right now. ACM going to be checking Spike Cave. Or maybe not, doesn't have a safety potion. That's going to be a negative.
Yeah, no cape, no cane to Burna. Not be able to get in. Be really unfortunate if something's hiding out in there.
Glan making pretty short work of Trinex. Again, having the level 3 sword makes this a pretty easy fight.
What does Trinex have for us today? I could not see that.
I have to wait for the restream.
Looks like it was the level 1 shield. So good thing the cape was in big chest. That must have been the go-to item the logic expected for the laser bridge. Now Glan, with Cape, is heading over to the Spike Cave area, so we may be able to see how critical that was for ACM. I can't imagine ACM's going to head back up there anytime soon.
Well, just for that one chest, I would be highly surprised if he did.
Yeah, but ACM with the book in hand and being in Skull Woods may see the first pedestal check, provided go mode is not found within the second half of Skull Woods. Oh my god, it's the big key to Thieves Town in Spike Cave. Oh no.
Oh no. Rip pedestal.
So that's go mode for Glan at 1 hour 20 minutes. Oh, that is so unfortunate for ACM.
I mean, statistically, I agree with ACM's play to dip out of there, but oh, what a heartbreaker.
Well, he had to dip out because he didn't have the means to actually complete it.
No.
So that is heartbreaking for him. I'm sure he's going to be unhappy to head back there later on and pick up his go mode. Yeah, the Desert Palace Big Key was hiding out on the laser bridge in T-Rock, so Glan, provided he has all the other big keys that everybody else has, is in go mode. We'll see his behavior in Skullwoods here. That should tell us if he has all the big keys.
I don't think we have any other small keys that are required, so yeah, Pedestal is officially dead.
No, Pedestal's not dead yet, because we still don't know where that last Turtle Rock small key is. So although this is go mode for Glan, that is not go mode for everybody else, because at least xelnas will need to find a fourth T-Rock small key.
That's very true.
Yeah, that would be the worst possible thing on Pedestal right now, is the Turtle Rock small key. But hopefully we'll get a check from ACM here.
And we will.
All right. Small chance for a Pedestal maybe seed, depending on decisions inside Turtle Rock.
Oh, just a heart container. Ped is officially dead.
That would be pretty incredible, though, with the Turtle Rock small key.
Oh, and that would give Glan a sizable advantage. I would say almost unable to overcome Edge.
Yeah, although ACM has done quite a few more dungeons, not being able to finish off Trinex, assuming, like, I'm still assuming that he burned the small key to get to the big key chest. We'll find out once he re-enters Turtle Rock, which he'll probably do, heading back up to Death Mountain. Finish off the remaining chests he has access to inside Turtle Rock. Man, we could be hunting for a while for that T-Rock small key.
So, we have to think, where have we not checked? Where could that last Turtle Rock key be hiding?
It could be hiding inside Mire. With the flute being an ice palace, that is open. I don't think xelnas found a small key in Ice Palace. Yeah, we could be, going through all this for nothing. Yeah, ACM's sitting on one small key. So I think he did burn one, and we'll need to find another.
Rebel Winner in chat, to answer your question, charging a spin attack has a twofold advantage. First of all, you do keep facing forward, so you'll be able to aim your hammer attacks a lot better on Helmasaur King. Second of all, it does increase the range ever so slightly. I think it's about a 2-pixel increase on the range.
Doesn't sound like a lot, but it makes a big difference. Yeah, if I didn't miscount keys, ACM is going to have a rough time here. Make it all the way to the laser bridge, hoping to find the remaining Turtle Rock small key and it not being there. And Glan gonna give us our first look at the back half of Thieves Town. It could be here as well.
I would say he knows he's in go mode, so I wonder how many chests he will check along the way.
Yeah, having silvers, having tempered sword makes Ganon pretty easy.
And with 14 hearts, I mean, he's got to be feeling very confident right now, thinking, you know what, I can just burn right on through here.
Yeah, we need to also make sure that Glan does have all of the big keys. We know where they all are, but if there could be a possibility that some of the runners have yet to pick up a few of the big keys. I think Glan has them all, though. Oh no, xelnas gets grabbed by the Wall Master. All the way back to the start.
Wall Master trolling you since 1986.
Okay, ACM did not burn a key. Checking the center chest, so ACM is good. Had me worried for a little bit there if he did or did not check that. Yeah, unless you enter Turtle Rock with all 4 small keys, you gotta really consider burning that one on just one item location. So we'll likely see ACM go back over to Spike Cave now that he has the cape, and that will be go mode for him. He'll pick up his remaining big keys up here.
Meanwhile,
Wait, did xelnas? Okay, xelnas did not get grabbed by the Wall Master. Into the Mothula fights.
Got the fire rod, but other than that, he's going to have to opt to fighter sword spins and having a bit of trouble with Mothula.
Yeah, dude has just picked up his fire rod as well.
Oh no, xelnas taking the death to Mothula. That's very unfortunate. But I mean, Mothula not an easy boss by any stretch of the imagination, especially only having fighter sword and not even having half magic for your fire rod.
Yeah, so if ACM goes straight to Spike Cave after Turtle Rock, I think this is going to be close between him and Glan, because Glan still needs to head back over to the pod area, finish off Helmasaur King and the Armos Knights. Meanwhile, ACM only has Thieves Town and Desert Palace. So I think right now ACM has a little bit of a lead, provided he goes back into Spike Cave. That's going to be critical.
Yep, I am inclined to agree. You have to wonder, though, since he already made that halfway check in, is he going to think that he's gotten it, or does he have that bookmarked in his mind?
You know, he fully intended on going to get it, so I'm thinking it's been bugging him lately, at least the last couple minutes in the seed. And already being on top of Death Mountain, now is the best time to go and look at it.
Glan
Only time will tell.
Glan opting to go check Batcave. I have to wonder, is he missing something for Gomo?
Yeah, he's got to be missing one of the big keys. The EP big key was located in Pod, and he never went back there, so he's still hunting for that.
Ooh, that's a very good point.
And xelnas finishes off Mothula. Congratulations to him.
And again, with only Fighter Sword and Fire Rod, that is not an easy fight by any stretch of the imagination.
Alright, the moment of truth here. If ACM heads straight over to Spike Cave, he's going to have quite a bit of a lead now.
Xelnas making his pedestal check, confirming indeed that pet is dead. Extremely dead.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a big divide in this race depending on who burned that key inside Turtle Rock or not. Yeah, here it is. ACM appears to be heading over to Spike Cave.
He remembers, thank God.
Yeah, that's going to be go mode for ACM. And with Glan still hunting for that Eastern Palace big key, ACM's going to have a sizable advantage here. So flute is actually not required in this seed. The only thing ACM is hunting for is the Thieves Town big key, which he's about to pick up. So there it is. ACM with the big key to Thieves Town is now in go mode.
130.51.
The logic expected flute, but by sequence breaking, it ended up not being required. Because the only thing flute was required for, at least that we know of so far, is access to Death Mountain, which you can do if you do the really easy blind room up to Death Mountain. It could be locking the 4th Turtle Rock small key, which we haven't found. And xelnas will need to find that small key because he did burn the one to get that big key chest.
Looks like ACM going to be opting to go to Thieves Town real quick, and then after that, all he needs to do is make a quick trip back down to Desert.
Though lacking the flute, it's a little bit of a walk.
Looks like Dude's going to be making his Ice Palace play. Glan heading to the back of Desert Palace, going to take out Lenmola.
And Dude opting to make the play on Ice Palace. We'll find the flute. So, Jaxus, we know some of these runners need to find the 4th and final Turtle Rock small key. Where do you think it's going to be?
Oh boy. Trying to remember where we haven't looked yet. I would say... Did we check the big chest in Thieves Town?
No, that has not been checked. Maybe Glan did. I can't remember. I don't recall seeing it. I'm gonna say it's gonna be on Vitreous.
Oh, yes. Nobody's gone to Meyer yet. You make a very valid point. It could be in Meyer.
Yeah, xelnas is currently the only one who can actually get there. But I like this play from him, though. Just going through the crystal dungeons he knows he can complete, and then look for the remaining stuff later.
And you certainly don't want to have multiple leads that you're trying to follow all at once, going through, knocking out crystals as you can. I still think statistically that's a very solid play to make.
Now, another question popping up, is the flute required to leave Agda 2? And no, the game assumes that by the time you're at that point, you have the flute, because for the way the game was programmed, you need the flute to actually beat the game. So it just plays the song anyway, and the duck will come over to your aid. My bigger question is how did the duck reach the Dark World? Until no other point, you call the flute, and he doesn't come because the duck's a light world only thing. How did he get access to the Dark World? And I don't think ducks have moon pearls, so...
It's because it's the Duckus Ex Machina.
But I guess I have to say, the story of this game, the Dark World shows, I think, like the true version of what's inside. A duck... It's just a duck at heart, so it retains their form in the Dark World. xelnas getting his big key to Turtle Rock. That's going to be really unfortunate, though, if he heads up without that small key. You know, I've been theorizing on this small key for quite a while now, but I've never confirmed all the items that xelnas picked up inside Ice Palace. So I wonder if I missed something there.
I don't know, but ACM picking up a flawless victory on Blind. Very good level of execution there. I mean, just being able to dodge all the heads and the fireballs, that's very solid execution right there.
Yeah, ACM, only one crystal to go. And then Glan will be able to go straight to Eastern Palace after this. Now, Desert Palace is definitely the quicker dungeon. But Glan isn't going to be that far behind ACM. At least, did Glan actually go over and pick up the Eastern Palace big key? I think I missed it. I hope Glan went over there.
I hope he did too.
Glan is sitting at 3 small keys, it looks like, so I want to say no.
Oh god, you wonder if he maybe forgot, because if he did, that would definitely put ACM with a sizable advantage at this point.
Well, we'll be able to tell really quick.
No,
I did not see the big key on his menu there. That really quick check.
Glance, I thought I saw it, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, he does not have the Eastern Palace big key. So this is going to be huge for him. Glan needs to head straight back into pod and check the remaining items. Yeah, definitely ACM's race to lose as far as the featured runners are concerned.
Now, checking in IRC, we have not had anybody finish yet, so we will let you know if someone finishes, but as of right now, nobody has completed it. First place is still open.
Yeah, I'm keeping a close eye on Dude's screen and haven't seen any form of small keys for T-Rocket's side. Picks up his flute. So maybe it's over in the mire area, yeah. Alright, moment of truth for Glan. Glan has finished off pod, collected his 6th crystal. Will Glan return inside and check the remaining locations? Please, Glan, please go back inside.
He
yes.
does,
Right.
Yes. It's still a very close race. Still give the slight edge to ACM, but Glan will not be far behind his heels. Although do bear in mind, ACM's execution tends to be very top tier, so Glan definitely going to have to be on his A game.
Now this is pretty big for ACM here. You know, he just collected the 7th crystal. Glan still needs to go grab the Eastern Palace big key and then go all the way through Eastern. So yeah, I don't see ACM losing this one unless something really catastrophic happens inside GT. And especially with silvers, you know, Glan does have the sword upgrade, but you know, for someone of ACM's caliber, Master Sword Ganon is no issue whatsoever.
Looks like Dude's going to be working on Cold Stare. With Master Sword doing spins like that, no magic left, that's a very uneasy fight to do.
Yeah, Cold Stare is terrifying.
Very much tends to center on once you have the once you melt Cold Stare out of his initial block of ice, you all have to get a spin attack very quickly on the eyes and try to keep them corralled. Otherwise, this fight tends to snowball on you.
And Cold Stare just does so much damage. Even on red mail, getting bodied by Cold Stare will deal 2 hearts of damage. So you have 12 hearts, but it doesn't take long to get to dangerous levels of HP.
And shoutouts to Chloe Prower, you know why. Alright, ACM getting ready to go with Ganon's Tower. Going to be just a straight shot to the top. Already have the Ganon's Tower big key, so no guessing game at this point. So sorry. Please see the counter for a refund.
Yeah, I think ACM also has 2 small keys to GT, at least. So won't even have to kill any Helmosaurs. Won't have to take a pit stop at the skull pot in the basement to pick up one. Just straight on through.
xelnas, meanwhile, finishing off Argus. That only makes 2 crystals for xelnas so far.
Glan now in the second half of EP. Will be grabbing his 7th crystal shortly. And dude activating the flute. Maybe we'll finally see what's hanging out over in the mire area.
I do think you somewhat have the right of it. I think we are going to find our last Turtle Rock small key down there.
Alright, there it is. Dude, heading over into the Dark World by Mire. I don't recall if Dude actually went that deep into T-Rock to burn a key or not, so he may not need it, but we do know xelnas does.
With Silver Arrows, Glan is going to make quick work of Armor's fight here.
Definitely.
Well, that last one can sometimes be a little bit tricky.
Yeah, Mire Shed not paying off. Okay, I saw a quick peek at Dude's mini. He has 3 small keys to T-Rock, so he has not ventured in. So he just needs to make his way up there, skip that chest, and he'll be good. Safety Fairy for ACM enters Lambos 2. Kind of ironic going right here after finishing Desert Palace, fighting him again.
Well, at least he's well practiced at it.
Yeah. Alright, xelnas heading into pod. Will likely be able to clear this on his first run through.
That Murder Dactyl giving him a few fits.
Thankfully with Red Mail, they're not nearly as scary as they once were. Here we go, Dude heading up to Turtle Rock. With the big key in hand, this could be his access to go mode, provided he also makes the play on Spike Cave after he's done here. And I think getting that cape in the big chest here in Turtle Rock will convince him to head over there.
Looks like Glan going to be making his way over to Ganon's Tower. So a little bit behind ACM, but not too far behind. Meanwhile, ACM opting to check the chest, only going to find a small key and a compass. And our good buddy Brian, just before Troldorn 2. You know, that other Kane we don't talk about very much.
It can be useful. Oh, ACM getting hit in the face. Troldorm with the message, learn to hover.
And there we go. Troldorm only getting one hit off on ACM. ACM giving him the business. Now, will he validate? Yes, he will, for 50 rupees.
So important development here on Xelnas' end. So Xelnas burned a key going into the maze. Either doesn't know the hammer jump or opted not to do it. I'm not sure if Xelnas has enough small keys to get to Helmasaur King.
See, he has one left, so what was in Harmless? Wait, no, Harmless Hellway had
that was the Eastern Palace big key.
Yeah. And he hasn't checked it yet, I don't believe. So no, I don't think he does. Or if he does, he's gonna have to come back.
Getting a quick menu check. Yeah, Xelnas does not have the big key to Eastern Palace. And it looks to me like he's going to be using it.
Nice triple from ACM. Sorry, not to cut you off, but that was an amazing triple shot from ACM to finish off Aga 2.
Yeah, only the Ganon fight remains. And yeah, Xelnas going on to Helmasaur King. So without that small key, that's going to be another dip into pod he's going to have to do. And no, nobody has finished yet, so ACM definitely has a shot at taking first place here.
Ganon asking us an age-old question.
Yeah, so Master Sword spins, of course, required to deal any damage at all to Ganon. No problem at all for ACM. Takes 12 spins per phase, plus 4 in phase 3.
ACM getting really good positioning here, able to stay inside the Fire Bat ring and able to get 2 spin attacks per charge.
Of course, Silver is going to make this a lot easier, not having to worry about Silverless Master Sword Ganon.
Yeah, Silverless Master Sword Ganon, that's that fight you practice in hopes to God that you'll never actually have to do. It's doable, but it is certainly not fun.
Alright, just 4 silver hits to the face and Ganon will go down.
ACM misses the torch glitch, but not a huge deal here.
Yeah, with silvers this is going to be no problem whatsoever. One more hit to go. And there is Ganon down for ACM.
And keeping an eye on it, but I think he might be our first place finisher. We'll find out here in just a little bit. And looks like he will finish with an official SRL time of 1:49 flat. He is indeed our first place finisher. So congratulations to Acmlm, your champion for tonight.
And Glan got out of GT because lacking arrows. Or what's he looking for? Magic? Maybe magic?
Let's see, is this the digging game? No, this can't be.
I'm not sure what Glan is looking for.
Magic, maybe?
I don't know, but magic isn't needed until the torch room. Did he run out of magic in the first torch room.
Oh, he might
no,
have.
he must have.
Oh, no.
That is unfortunate. So we'll have to start again from the top. Yeah, the flute was in Ice Palace.
Now Glan, with full bandoliers on magic, going to be making his way up Ganon's tower again.
I think we're still hunting for that Turtle Rock small key for xelnas. Dude opted to also skip the big key chest, so I'll not have to worry about it. So unfortunately, we won't be able to get to ACM in here for an interview. Feel free to talk to him in chat, get his opinions on the matter.
And yes, ACM, to answer your question, the flute was indeed in Ice Palace.
And not just in Ice Palace, but all the way down in the iced tea room. Yeah, so still no other finishers for the race. So that would be impressive if Glan, having to do the GT gauntlet twice, manages to come in second here.
xelnas looks like he's going to be checking the dark room in Hyrule Castle. He will find his level 3 sword there.
Yeah, what awful places for swords this seed. All three of them. The 2 in pod, the seed expecting you to get super late. And then this one way in the back of Escape.
We still don't know where our 4th sword is.
Probably somewhere in the GT basement.
Say there or Meyer, we haven't really seen any locations there yet.
The full heart sleeps again forever. Yeah, we don't know where boots were. We don't know where that last small key is. No idea where the mushroom is. Red meringue. Still quite a bit out there. 2 more shields, of course.
xelnas opting to check Aghanim Tower. He'll find a Bombos medallion.
Yeah, Bombos is the access to Meyer, so I wonder if xelnas will be heading there next.
Well, don't forget, he is still on the prowl for his Eastern Palace big key. And remember, that's back in the Harmless Hellway in Palace of Darkness, so he may not go back there for quite some time, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'll need to find at least 1 more pod small key before heading over. And so a lot of times sequence breaking can lead you astray on a different path that you otherwise wouldn't have taken. And send you off on all these red herrings, but on this seed it seems to have paid off in droves, leading not only to the Master Sword early, but getting you that lamp, skipping where this horrible search for a small key, skipping 2 dungeons. It's nice.
Dude takes out Trinex using the good old hammer. Glan, meanwhile, getting ready to go up and say hi to Agatu. Interesting to note, we have our second place finisher also, Act the Boker, second place time of 1 hour, 55 minutes, and 14 seconds.
Important decision time for Dude here. Will Dude continue on to Spike Cave, picking up the big key? Looks like that is exactly what Dude will be doing. Now Glan has made it to Agatu again. Actually, not again. He wasn't able to get here the first time, but still 2 trips through the gauntlet. It's got to be a little rough. Can still place pretty high overall in this race.
Oh, meanwhile, chat pointing out, what if the key in Lumberjack Cave is a Turtle Rock key?
Was it a small key?
I believe it was.
Oh no. Oh, that is really bad, because then boots need to be found in order for access to it.
That would be very unfortunate.
There it is. Dude picks up the Thieves Town big key. Glan drops into the Ganon fight.
Now, important to note, Glan having level 3 sword, not having to worry about using sword spins to take out Ganon. So he will have a slightly easier time than ACM did.
There it is. Dude heading over to check the Mire area. Actually, no. This is probably going to head into Desert Palace by mirroring. Phase 2 for Glan and the Ganon fight. So I wonder if xelnas is coming back into Ice Palace to finish off Cold Stare. I want to say all other items were obtained.
Dude, meanwhile, coming back in, he's going to check the big chest in Desert.
Oh, unfortunately, misses the first arrow shot there. No biggie, though.
I think he'll make up for it here.
Oh,
no! The fall! That's a very unfortunate fall to get right there.
So has to be a little bit careful on the magic the second time around. Would be heartbreaking to see him run out of magic again, this time in the final phase of Ganon.
We still don't have a third place finisher yet, so that is coming. Glan still has the ability to finish third here. He's just going to have to he's going to calm down and focus on getting the Ganon down.
Bombos was located inside Aga Tower, the first chest.
Dude gonna be going in to take care of Landmolus, and xelnas getting ready to give a great big hi to one great big eye. Actually, just more like 3 of them.
Yeah, so does Dude have the Eastern Palace crystal? I remember him heading back into Pod to go pick up the big key. I would think he would have done it while he was over there. Maybe next time we get a menu check, we'll see if he does have the crystal or not. Maybe we'll get the flute out. There we go. No, Dude does not have the Eastern Palace big key. And having already completed Pod, will likely not head back there anytime soon.
And unfortunately, this is going to punish him for not going back to check that harmless Hellway.
Yeah, and I'm holding my breath here for Glan, sitting at a half a heart in the final phase of Ganon here.
Oh,
nice
gets
double
a double.
there.
Ooh,
Gotta be
good
careful
fire
there.
back dodge.
As long as he's safe, this should be fine. Setting up for another double. And there it is. Ganon down for Glan. Get an official SRL time here as soon as he goes through the door. And there it is. Glan has finished in 3rd place with an official SRL time of 2 hours, 12 seconds. And not far behind, finishing only 5 seconds later, is Wolf38 finishing up in 4th place.
Yes, good game to Glan there. Only a 5-second split between him and 4th place. So yes, very clutch on getting our bronze medal for tonight.
It was a rough journey going through Ganon twice, doing the gauntlet twice, but he made it. xelnas is heading back into the Mire area, now has all the tools to enter Mire.
Well, and we will get a peek at what we've got in Misery Mire, but very unfortunate that this is required as part of the logical progression.
Potentially.
Yes, potentially. And it looks like we have Glan in the waiting room, so we're going to pull him down here and get his thoughts on the scene. Welcome in, Glan. GG, man. Very nice 3rd place, finishing only 5 seconds ahead of Wolf83. Or 38, yeah.
Yeah.
So, talk to us. How'd the seed feel?
The seed felt pretty good. Maybe I should have picked up the lamp. Yeah, I don't really know what happened there in Ganon's Tower. Because normally that little magic refill should be enough to use the fire rod, but it wouldn't let me for some reason. Other than that, the seed felt pretty good, pretty straightforward.
Yeah, so we do have to talk about the having to head through the gauntlet twice, falling to Ganon and doing that twice. Were you worried that like a flurry of finishers would come in while you're trekking back up, GT?
A little bit. I knew I definitely wouldn't get 2nd place after having to mirror out there.
We were still pulling for you. It was going to be close.
Yeah, I'm not even sure how the Ganon fall happened. Like, it just... I'm not even really sure what happened. Somehow I got hit or bounced off him or something.
Yeah, so for you, your routing turned out to be, pretty excellent.
Mm-hmm.
You were the first one by far to get the fire rod located on the right side in Desert Palace. So you're able to go through T-Rock the first time and full clear to the whole thing, smartly skipping that big key chest. So is that something you always do? If you can get to Trinex or open up the big key chest, are you always going to skip that big key chest? What's your recommendation?
I usually do, just because you don't want to be in a situation where you're stuck trying to find the 4th key, and you need to kill Trinex for go mode or whatever.
Yeah, so far, watching all 4 runners on the restream, the only thing we haven't found, as far as completion goes, is that 4th T-Rock small key. So currently we have xelnas heading through Mire, hoping to find it in here somewhere.
The thing about the logic is it doesn't expect that vanilla big key chest unless you have all 4 keys, the same as Trinex. So you might as well go for Trinex over that. At least I think.
Yeah, we do have confirmation that that 4th T-Rock small key was indeed in Misery Mire. So locked behind 2 pendant dungeons because you need to go get the flute hiding away deep in Ice Palace.
Yeah, I'm glad I never went in there.
Yeah, so all things considered, Ice Palace was relatively early on the access list dungeon-wise. We had the big key, we had the small key. So why did you decide to, not worry about it, go elsewhere with your time?
I don't think I ever got it to Big Key.
Oh, did you not?
Where was it?
I remember it being pretty early on. I can't imagine exactly where. I have it written down here as Catfish. So,
oh, yeah, I never went there.
Well, thankfully it turned out to be the right decision overall, provided you're comfortable sequence breaking.
Yeah,
A lot of the seeds, sometimes sequence breaking can lead you astray. But this one, everything was like perfect. Oh, sorry to interrupt, but we have the boots and the big chest admire. Wow, what an awful spot for him.
If you're a Logic player, this seed has just been terrible so far. Going back to how powerful sequence breaks have been this go around. Yes, I'm glad you guys were running it and not me, because I tend to be a Logic player.
Yeah. Yeah, Ice Palace for me was kind of just like the last resort to look for the Eastern Big Key. That was really all it could have been.
Yeah, there are a couple times where you had me on edge, heading into pod and then going straight to Helmasaur. Is like, oh man, is he going to go back or not? Please remember to go back. Because at that time, ACM had found that big key not too far before that. He's like, oh man, this could be huge if Glan doesn't go back in or not. Thankfully, you did.
Yeah, I was like, if Helmasaur had it, I'd save a bit of time.
So then I want to ask you something. Looking back over the seed, and leaving Ganon's Tower as an exception, what parts of the seed did you feel the most confident in, and what were your least confident moments?
What had me, I guess, slightly worried was not going into the front half of Turtle Rock before the Big Key. I was kind of gambling that I wouldn't need anything from that. But the Big Key was in Swamp, so it didn't work out.
Yeah, just taking the right steps, avoiding many double dips, actually. Everybody else has had to either double dip and potentially triple dip into T-Rock because of all the stuff that was hiding deep in.
So then how about on the opposite side of the coin? Were there any plays you made where you were it felt immensely gratified? You were like, yes, this was a good decision. I feel like I'm really on pace. What were your most confident parts looking back over the seed?
I would say going into Desert at the beginning there with the small key to get the Fire Rod.
Yeah, that was pretty huge early on.
And yeah, getting the mirror felt good, although I don't think I would have been too far ahead on that one. The mirror out of pod.
Yeah, mirror out of pod wasn't too critical, especially since it wasn't locking too much stuff outside of Swamp Palace, of course. Yeah, going in there with, I think most people went in initially with only a single small key, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And whether or not you chose to do the hammer jump, whether or not you chose to go straight right side and skip the initial big key or small key, kind of set the pace for the race.
Yeah.
You had you and ACM, and I'm not sure if xelnas did or not, go in and get Master Sword, or at least a single sword early. Then, dude opting not to sequence break anything. Unfortunately, didn't get a sword until like a little over an hour in.
Ouch. It took me a long time to get it, too. Even when I did.
So I am curious. Hammer jump is, sorry, my mistake. Hammer yump is pretty huge in Keysanity, not so much in the standard open mode. Is that something you've always done, or maybe something you picked up specifically for Keysanity races?
Yeah, I picked it up specifically for Keysanity. I do use it on occasion in open and standard, but it's mostly just for Keysanity to get in there.
Yeah.
Well, like, give us an example then, real quick. Like, what? Not to pull away from Keysanity for a minute, but like, let's say you're in open. What times do you typically find yourself wanting to use the hammer yell?
When I do it when I'm heading to the back, I have the big key and an extra small key, so then I can just walk all the way through backwards through the dark maze and come out and then check the other chests instead of having to backtrack a little bit. It's just a little bit of convenience.
So Glenn, I don't want to keep you here too long. So any final thoughts on the seed, before getting ready, maybe signing up for another one tomorrow?
I don't think I have anything else to say.
All right, well, Glenn, thanks for coming in and talking to us with us for a little bit.
And congratulations again on your third place finish, man. That was an awesome run. So very well played.
Thank you.
Yep. Thanks again, Glan. And we'll be back to the action on stream as xelnas and dude52089 continue their quest for Go mode.
I'll be sure to watch it.
Yes, feel free.
All right. Thanks for having me.
So now getting back to this, let's see here. Looks like Dude's still in Misery Mire. xelnas has found his way back to Turtle Rock.
Yeah, this will be good for xelnas because this will lead him potentially to his Go mode. Desert Palace and Thieves Town, big keys will likely be found in sequence here, but the big but is when xelnas ventures back into pod. I can't recall if he's found another pod small key to get to the Harmless Hellway in the back of pod.
I don't think he has, so you gotta hope that he just routes it back there on a whim, but statistically speaking, I don't think he's gonna go back there for quite some time.
Yeah, I missed a large amount of items that were found within Misery Mire, so it could have been in there. Yeah, it's gonna be the hunt for the Eastern Palace big key for Dude and xelnas. But Dude is quite ahead on dungeon completion, so there's a lot fewer things for him to check before venturing back into pod. And once we get a pause screen from Dude, there it was. Dude does have a pod small key, so can get to the back.
Not sure if xelnas has one or not. We'll have to wait until we can get a pause screen out of him.
Yeah, we'll get some item changes here, at least on Trinex, if not the Laser Bridge room. We'll see how his key count is stacking up.
We do have our 6th place finisher, Dwayne, finishing with 2 hours, 12 minutes, and 30 seconds. So congratulations to him, coming in 6th.
Yeah, I think we also missed Moto C finishing in 5th place at 2:10:10.
SSC definitely not kind if you're a logic-based player, so it's certainly not an easy one.
xelnas whipping out the cape to finish off the Laser Bridge area. Low on health, so can't blame him for this. Bomb in the wall, gonna head in, get that checkpoint before heading into face Trinex.
Doesn't take a whole lot of time and always a smart safety to have. Now with Red Mail, won't have to worry too much about a hug from Trinex, but still, Trinex does a lot of damage for a boss.
I think xelnas just did a death there to get a little refill on his hearts.
Dude finishing off Vitreous, getting his blue pendant.
Okay, there's the menu from xelnas. xelnas does not have a pod small key.
Oh boy.
And Dude does, as he finishes off Meyer. So there are some overworld locations remaining. But the question is, when is Dude going to head back into pod? That is super far out of the way. And I think the only chest he didn't actually get inside pod. Hey, we found the butter sword sitting in Bunk Rocks. There it is. The rare
believe it's butter.
Yeah, the rare seed where there isn't a sword hiding away in Ganon's tower basement. Oh, and we have our 9th and 10th placed finishers. Willard J. Bradley finishing in at 2 hours, 15 minutes, and 6 seconds. And not far behind, Sigma finishing in 10th place with 2 hours, 15 minutes, and 25 seconds.
In between those guys, too, looks like Maximum Barnage took 7th place with a time of 2 hours, 14 minutes, 23 seconds, and Mr. Barry Bonds at 8th, just behind him with a time of 2 hours, 14 minutes, and 55 seconds. So there's your top 10, folks.
And xelnas taken a death, unfortunately, to Trinex. So there is a possibility now that the lumberjack item is a small key to pod. We found most of the small keys. We know where. Let's see. I'm looking through the dungeons here. I think we found all the Meyer and Skullwoods keys. We've got all the GT small keys.
Boy, how
So,
cool
is there anything other than a pod small key that could be there?
I don't know. I think it is going to be our last pod small key.
Yeah, I can't imagine xelnas is going to go back there and check that until he's cleared almost everything else. Yeah, it gets both heads down on Trinex this time. Hard part is done. And Dude is heading back into pod. Oh, good decision by him. Almost autopiloted and went through the small key in the middle. Yeah, he's going to skip that, head to the back. And finally enter go mode. It's going to be an all dungeons run for Dude. Yeah, definitely not a friendly seed at all, with the potential awful locations for pod small keys and T-Rock small keys.
And it's not one that's logic friendly at all.
So where do you think xelnas is going here? Desert Palace? It looks like he hasn't finished Desert yet, so makes sense.
Say Desert, possibly the Shed, but I think he's checked that already. So yeah, I believe he's going to make the Desert Palace play here.
Yeah, there we go. Just out of T-Rock. I don't recall what was in the big chest here. Maybe it was a...
$20. Just
20
a little
bucks?
bit of allowance.
Unfortunately, that's not enough to buy him a pod key. There it is. Dude has picked up the big key to Eastern Palace and has finally entered go mode. Just a quick dip into Eastern Palace to get his last crystal, and then off to GT for him. And Jaxus, did xelnas head into Thieves Town, or not Thieves Town, into Spike Cave while he was up in T-Rock?
I don't believe he has.
Oh,
Actually, you know, he did not. He mirrored as soon as he got out and flew straight down here. So no, he hasn't gone into Spike Cave yet.
And it's just unfortunate with all the progression being in these really out-of-the-way locations.
Well, and at this point, you have to bear in mind the sieg's been going on for almost 2.5 hours. Fatigue does start to set in after a while. I mean, it's, you know, the mind can only take so much, and I can't speak for these guys, but I know personally, the longer a siege drags on for me, you really start to wear down, and it's all you can do to just focus on the task at hand at that point. So I can certainly understand forgetting something. It happens to everybody.
Yeah, when you have our 11th place finisher, JD, with 2 hours, 20 minutes, and 35 seconds.
Now, curiosity, how many did we have in this field tonight?
It was in the 20s. I'm going to go look and see if I can get a total. Yeah, but only 2 people finished with a sub 2 hour time. And that, I'm assuming, involved heavy sequence breaking. Well, we know, at least for ACM, it was quite a bit of sequence breaking. And likely for Acmlm as well. But that goes to show, you know, this is not a friendly seed. You know, getting into...
Go ahead.
No, continue.
I was going to say, ACM completely skipped both Ice Palace and Misery Mire. I mean, didn't even set foot into either one of those dungeons. Not even a little bit. Just from a pure time perspective, very, very efficient routing in that case. Not to go into either one of those 2 dungeons.
Yes, I looked up. It appears to me that there's 25 entrants. Glad I didn't miss any of the gatekeepers in the SRL race. Yeah, so 25 racers and still only 11 finishers at almost at the 2 hour, 21 minute mark. Yeah, this is rough.
The mean seed. And answer a question in chat for JMan2050. Yes, Hera had the hook shot. Very important item.
Was it in the basement in Hera?
Yes, it was. It was in the, not the back basement, the one that's locked by a small key, but the first door on your left as you come in.
Yeah, did we ever find the Tower of Hera small key? Maybe that's hiding out in a Lumberjack Cave.
Oh, God, you're right. I don't think we have. Oh, what if... what if the Lumberjack Cave key is the Tower of Hera small key, and the last pod small key is in the behind the penalty box room in Tower of Hera? God.
Yeah, that would be bad. I do not recall whether or not we found that Tower of Hera small key, so I don't know if that's possible. But until we get confirmation of where that actually was, I'll be ready to have that as my headcanon. That's what it is.
Arboretic finishing out the top half of the field, coming in 12th place with a time of 2 hours, 23 minutes, and 24 seconds. So, good game to you, sir.
There it is. xelnas gets the peak at Lumberjack Cave, finds a small key. Still lacking the small key to pod that he so desperately needs. And dude, after completing all the dungeons, heading up GT.
God, I do love Willard's comment, not to get off on a tangent. That's a really neat route the Logic intended. I think that sums this up just about as well as you can.
Yeah, it is amusing looking at the intended path that is expected without any sequence breaking at all. And in this case, going into quite a few pendant dungeons that are really out of the way. So xelnas doing the North Dark World check. with Cape, he does have access to Bumper Cave.
It's true, and I don't think we've seen a graveyard like check, have we?
I'm not sure. Gonna pick up his Butter Sword though, hiding inside the Bonk Rocks. I have a question of where was the Cane of Burna?
Brian was hanging out at the top of the tower. Top of Ganon's tower, that is. I believe it was the last chest before the validation chest, so the chest just before Trolldorm 2.
Alright, Cemetery Ledge for xelnas. Still looking for his Eastern Palace Big Key, as well as the Thieves Town Big Key hiding away in Spike Cave. Our 13th place finisher, Sidario, finishing in 13th place with 2 hours, 26 minutes, and 15 seconds. And seeing all these like deep into the 2-hour mark finishes, yeah, makes me more and more glad that I did not participate in this race.
And on that note, for the community, if you are watching these races and you're saying, man, this looks hard, but I think I could do this, we are going to be continuing the daily races. So if you are new to Rando, or if you're an old hand and you just have never been in the SRL part of it, definitely, throw your hat in. Give it a shot. You might surprise yourself. We will feature 4 runners at every race, and who knows, we may end up featuring you on one of our streams. But if you think that this is something you'd like to do, by all means, get in. Skill level does not matter. I mean, jump in, see what you can do. I always give praise to this community because every one of these people that I work with, they're very helpful. They're all more than willing to share their knowledge. It's one of the best communities I've ever had the privilege of being a part of. So you definitely need to get in and try this out if you're even thinking you want to try it, because it's very fun. You will not regret one single bit of it.
I don't think anything I just said went through. Oh man. Had this big epic speech ready to go. Then I realized my mic is muted. Oh no. Dude picking up his 50 rupees in the validation chest.
I love you, Fant. You make me smile every time.
You're welcome, man. I do what I can to please.
All right, dude, gonna go up and say hi to Aga number 2.
So is there still something xelnas missed in Ice Palace? No, this is his 3rd trip in. I thought he did the full clear. Unless he didn't get the Ice Palace Big Key?
That is certainly a possibility. I want to say he checked the big chest, though. I think at this point he knows he's missing something, and I think he's trying to shy away from doing Aghanim because, statistically speaking, it's such a small probability play.
All right, dude, finishing off Aghanim. We just had our 14th place finisher, Inknun, at 2 hours, 29 minutes even. So, opportunity here for dude to enter the top 15 with a greater than 2.5 hour time, which is insane.
But with butter, Ganon will go down rather easily.
I could say it's going to slice through Ganon like butter. getting the tickle beam over on Ganon there, poking him with the hook shot. I do love how the hook shot makes like the metal tink noise when it hits Ganon. It's like, what's he made out of?
Pork, obviously.
Oh, just narrowly misses the torch glitch there. Still, no big deal when you have the silver arrows.
We got to be careful on those fire bats to the edge, though, because that can knock you off.
Wait, he did get it.
quickly.
He did get. Wait, no, never mind. I thought he had.
Oh,
Nice
and a double shot. All right, we're going to find out the official time here. And it looks like, oh, dude comes in 15th place with a time of 2 hours, 31 minutes, and 12 seconds. Just behind him at 16th. Only 2 seconds of separation. Freddy comes in with a time of 2 hours, 31 minutes, and 14 seconds. So not a second to spare for dude to come in the top 15. So congratulations to him. We're going to see if we can get him in here for an interview.
And anybody finishing this close after 2.5 hours of the craziness that is this seed is it's hard to believe, really. Well, dude unfortunately does not have a microphone, but will be popping into the Speed Gaming chat, so say hello. Give him a big congratulations. No, xelnas. Pausing
this
Ice
is
Palace here.
unfortunate. We actually have, it looks like a forfeit from xelnas.
And I can't blame him here. You know, going this long, this late, you gotta be tired. There's a handful of possibly really, really dumb locations to go check.
And xelnas in chat, yeah, man, the Harmless Hellway had your Eastern Palace big key. For the last Dark Palace key, we're still not sure where that one is.
Yeah, we're thinking possibly the pod small key was hiding away inside Lumberjack. Yeah, but hey, if xelnas wants to come in, chat a little bit about it, more than welcome to have him.
Sure, why not?
All right, here he
Oh,
is,
xelnas.
xelnas.
Hey, so wait, I just picked the wrong route in pod and just like shot myself?
Yes,
Is that what happened?
that is
Unfortunately,
okay.
yes, dude. It's,
Cool.
You know what, though? It's still a good game, though, because, man, this was a punishing seed. I mean, logic that
Hey,
this
wait.
seed was
So we think it's the one on Agile.
Cool.
Let's see if I can. No, I'll say too long to do Agile and check that. But oh my gosh, what?
So how many pod keys total did you have? Did you find five?
I had 5. Yeah, no. The only chest left was that one. I was just praying it. I made the choice to take the vanilla bit key because it was faster to grab.
Yeah.
On my second trip in there.
Yeah, so we've seen
Wow.
almost everything, with the exception of the
So,
Aga.
so it has to be the
Lumberjack
Agile
here.
one. Yeah, so that's the Agile one.
That
When I checked
could-
that small key, I paused and was like, it's not gonna. There won't be anything at that pod chest. I don't have to do Agile 1 right now. Oh, little did I know. Okay, so that seed was quote unquote impossible. without me just like wanting to. And something was at Spike Cave.
Spike Cave
Yep.
was the holder of the Thieves Town Big Key.
And Easter Bell's Big. Oh, okay, so yeah, so I would have had to 100% the seed to finish it. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
so
the
they-
logic almost expected a 100% based on, requiring 6 pod keys to finish, requiring the 4 Turtle Rock small keys.
Yeah, the logic just punishing on this seed. So yeah, this was
So was
a big
I
one.
like the only one who went middle? Like what? Okay.
Yes, you were the only one.
Oh, okay. It just made sense with my routing. I like how the seed was like, go to Turtle Rock for nothing.
Until later, where it
I
had
thought-
everything.
Well, I mean, did it though? I don't even remember it having.
Well, it
one.
had the Desert Palace Big Key at the end.
But that's it. It didn't like. I expected to like rush up there and find something in there like in the first half, but there was nothing. I was shocked.
Yeah, I think
So
the only item of note was Desert Palace Big Key was on Laser Bridge, and I think that was it, unless I'm forgetting something.
Well, it had the cape, which was technically
Yeah.
needed to go to Spike Cave.
ACM pointing out, like, so I didn't have boots when I went in there either time. Otherwise, I would have just kept going around along right side. But I eventually wanted. I guess I can still grab those, but it takes so long. So I was like, oh, I'll just gamble. But if that was a tournament race, I think I would have forfeited anyway too. Eventually, on this one, because like, it's just one person running. That's why I forfeited here, because dude had already finished.
Well, I'd still like to thank you for going through and checking a lot of locations that we hadn't seen by anybody else,
Right?
because that
And-
gave us more information and probably confirmation of where that pod key is.
Well, and you did a hell of a lot better job than I could have done with the seed. I'll give you that.
That was a tough seed at first if you didn't check the one chest.
Yeah, definitely. Like, sequence breaking led us to an early Master Sword for a few of our runners here.
Mm-hmm.
Like being deep into pod, and the flute, of course, was never found by ACM or Glan, the other 2 racers. That was a wild goose chase, I tell you, trying to find the other keys.
Well, and only 2 times below 2 hours. I mean, it was just, whew, this was a rough one.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I don't even know what I could have, like, other than, doing better pod routing, like, not actually taking a risk. That would have been good. And I guess remember in Spike Cave, because I finally found the tape and was like, I guess I can do Spike Cave now. I just ignore Spike. In Keysanity, I try to follow the logic. So in this one, that is bad, and I need to get more comfortable. Also, I can't do Ice Palace Bomb Jump because if you saw me ever going into my menu like 4 times trying to get an item, it was always to the left. It's because my left D-pad is kind of broken.
Oh no, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, I need to get a new controller, but yeah, it's fine.
Yeah,
Also, go watch RT in Japan. Ooh.
Yeah, so Xelnas, one more question before
Sure.
we close it out. Is it time for Hammer Yump?
Oh yeah. That too. I should learn that. I was like thinking that. I was like, I'm on stream. If I wasn't on stream, I'd just learn Hammer Yump right now. But I also don't think I could do Hammer Yump with this controller right now, so I can't do Hammer Yump. So, but yes, I could have learned Hammer Yump. That would have been pretty helpful in this run, because I would have had Master Sword. I even thought about that when I picked up Master. I'm like, hey, I could have had this. And then when I got that Temper Sword, I was like, I usually do this chest. I don't know why I didn't today. Every time I opt not to do that sewer chest, it has something I could use. It's never required, but it's always something I could use. Always a sword, or like half magic.
All right, Xelnas, well, thanks for participating. Thanks for allowing us to feature you in the restream here.
Of course.
Of course,
I
good
always
luck
like to
on
show off-
finding.
I like
Good
to
luck.
show that not everyone who plays this game is good. Right?
Well, we did bring up the point. You don't need to be ACM in order to be on the restream. Take xelnas as an example here. All right, xelnas. Thanks again
Peace out.
for popping in a little bit. Good luck on finding a new controller. Until then, tomorrow the daily action will continue, starting off with a swordless run at 8 p.m. Eastern, followed by an open mode at 11 p.m. Eastern. And also, don't forget to tune into RTA in Japan. Speed Gaming has been restreaming that for us. It's been great so far. Make sure to watch that. Joining me on commentary has been Jaxus X, and tracking has been Chloe Prower and Brewers Fans JP. Thanks a lot to everybody. Did a great job.
Shout outs to my fellow commentator, Fant. It has been an absolute blast commentating this very wild ride of a seed with you. Also, give our runners a follow. They come out here, they put on a good show for us. They subject themselves to this misery for our entertainment. So absolutely give these boys and girls a follow.
Also, before we go, sorry to interrupt. I completely botched that schedule. I was reading the Friday schedule, and tomorrow is not Friday. Tomorrow is Thursday. So Thursday is a Keysanity race at 8 p.m. CET, 2 p.m. Eastern. Open mode at 8 p.m. Eastern and 11 p.m. Eastern is Triforce plus the Boss Randomizer.
So definitely a lot of good daily action coming up. So, absolutely tune in. If you want to run it, this is your chance to get in here, wade in, and we may end up featuring you on one of these restreams. So, if you've ever thought about running Rando, jump right on in, because, this is your chance to get in here and, see just how it feels to be actually running in these races instead of just watching. And with that being said, it's almost 1 o'clock here, and depending on where you're at in the world, it's a lot later than that. So this has been Jaxus. It's been a pleasure commentating this seed alongside my fellow commentator, Fant, and I'm going to let him have the last word tonight.
I think all that's been said has been said. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. See you tomorrow. Go watch RTA in Japan after this.